Welcome, Capricorn. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon in Virgo reading. The new moon's on September the 2nd, and it is focusing on the area of your life that regards expansion. This can be higher education, spiritual evolution, travel, publishing, teaching, and we'll look more closely at that. However, this is a general reading. It will not resonate for all of you. So if you're interested in a personal reading, please check out the description box below for information regarding the readings that I offer. I am so grateful to be here, and I'm really grateful for you being here. So let's get started, Capricorn, with your overall energy. My water bottle fell earlier. The Two of Cups. This is about deep connection for you, Capricorn. And for those of you that know me, that always starts from within. Everything starts from within. So it is your ability to grow into, recognize, and pursue your potential that is connecting you with the aspects of yourself that you may have often in the past felt were not for you, things you couldn't pursue, things that you weren't deserving of or weren't capable of. Opening up that part of your being to what we call your higher self is allowing you to connect more deeply with others who are similarly aligned, others who feel capable of manifesting uh, the life that is appropriate for them, for utilizing your resources in a way that is beneficial to you, that allows you to feel supported in pursuing the things that are for you, is something that you are finding reflection in all of your relationships, so that your relationships are deeper, are more committed, more mutually supportive, and engaged in joining together to do greater work. This is a real opening up of your ability to feel deserving of love, deserving of success, and making space for that in your life, acknowledging that it already exists in your life. In the 10th house, this is the house of your social identity, the way others see you. The Three of Wands is about your setting up precisely this opportunity for you to do just that, to pursue something that you perhaps put off until after you had achieved a more conventional success. This can be something like setting up a business after you've retired, or leaving a job, or having a side hustle that eventually becomes your mission, your job, your uh, professional practice. And that involves the identifying the direction you want to move in, those you want to work with, the resources that are available to you, so that you can turn your talents to unfamiliar vistas, to expanding towards a larger world that challenges you to step up and apply what you've learned, what you've experienced in a new way. In the first house, the Four of Cups. This is your perspective, your attitude, your mindset. The Four of Cups can be a sense of restlessness, perhaps a little disappointment in the offers that seem available and close at hand to you. Nothing quite seems to light you up in the way that you desire it to. This can particularly be in the face of an offer you received that was once something that you deeply wanted, that you believed would uh, balance out your life. But instead, you recognize that this thing is no longer a match for you, that you've moved on from whenever you sent that seed or that wish out into the universe. But the beauty of the Four of Cups is, as a result of this practice of aligning yourself with things that support you, that recognize you, that honor you, you understand that you can manifest the right opportunity, the right match for you at this time. So this is a really actually fundamental part of a cultural or emotional foundation that you've set in play for yourself. In the fourth house, this is the house of our homes, our histories, our families. The Knight of Pentacles really shows you at more of a standstill here. And this can relate to the sense of frustration, difficulty deciding the correct way forward, perhaps working hard at something but nothing showing up as a result of your effort. You're not seeing the advancement of a result of the work that you're doing. Recognizing perhaps that you're at the beginning of growing something long term and that the results are more theoretical at this time. You may be planning out your effort, um, creating a proposal for what it is you want to do, doing some research about the best way to achieve or manifest the success or the creation, the stability that you desire. But your focus is on stabilizing whatever it is that you wish for, whatever it is that you are setting up. You're calling that manifestation into being. In the seventh house, you have the Emperor. This is the house of your significant others. And this is a couple of things. This fundamentally is about your complete sovereignty over your life. In other words, understanding that you create your own reality according to your uh, thoughts, your visions, your plans, your understanding of the world, of your experience. This is you removing yourself from the attempt to control things that are not within your control. And yet, understanding that you can control yourself and your response to life and opportunities through your own efforts. This is a beautiful card of having realized success and achievements in the past on behalf of others. This can also be a powerful, strong person in your life. This can be a partner who has achieved some of what you aspire to achieve, who is there to support you to achieve whatever it is you want to achieve. Um, and this is indicative of your absolute success, your ability to carefully strategize your advancement, your progress, your success. If this reading is resonating for you so far, Capricorn, please like this video, share this with others, and subscribe to my channel, Pacific Tarot. I appreciate all the support. And indeed, it's necessary for me to continue to do what I continue to do. Peace. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energies. This is so touching to me for the very obvious reasons that this reading so far is resonating with me, but also that all expressions, all efforts are an expression of love. It's an expression of caring, an expression of building, creating. And this is by its nature, when we move from a place of love, of authenticity, of simply being at service from our best place, we release negativity because we no longer recognize it as a force when we're taking responsibility for all that we do. I love this. And from the flora and fauna of Africa, something wanted to flip. And I pulled the Jaguar, and the key word is spirituality. Reclaim your spiritual power. Seek the guidance of your ancestors to manifest the changes you want in your life. I love that. For some of you, the acknowledgement of this deeper connection within yourself, the illumination of that connection, ironically comes from not the future, not projecting ourselves in the future, but from recognizing our rootedness in our past. And so ancestry can be an all-inclusive way of talking about those who have loved you so much that they created opportunities for you that they may not have had. It can also include family members who have passed, family members you didn't know but you felt connected to, cultural or historical figures, anyone that resonates with your purpose on the planet. And this is incredibly powerful because our ancestors allow us to be loved. They love us, they acknowledge us, they support us when no one else seems to. So it is the ability to honor them, ask for their help. That's what they're there for. In the first house, the Four of Cups is clarified by the temptation. In the second house, and the messenger of air in the third house. So it is this ability to be critical, to think critically. I don't mean it as in criticism, giving out criticism, but of thinking critically that is helping you at this point on your forward motion. You are the Devil card in the second house is describing the various things that you've released that reflect the expectations of others regarding your desire and need to comply with that as a way of receiving love. This can even relate to a childhood or a conditioning where you were only acknowledged, you were only given attention when you helped others, that your appreciation in the world, that you came to understand your role in the world was to help others, that you yourself were not necessarily deserving of help or love, but that others were, and that your job was to help them. This has been an incredibly oppressive message that you have now learned, and this looks like some really hard work to climb out of this uh, body of beliefs, because it isn't just family. You can live in a incredibly supportive family, but in a society that labels you in a way that can be restrictive as to what you feel your opportunities for growth are. However, you've learned to release this, and this can include physical substances that anesthetize you, that uh, 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 assuage your sense of exhaustion, because this work of complying with others' need is exhausting, particularly as it rarely benefits you in the way that it feels like it should. And in that way, you have had to open up your intellect. You've had to open up the possibility of thoughts. You've had to explore other ways, alternatives through a variety of medium. This is stories, however you ingest or consume stories that are alternative to this path forward. Perhaps it's the life of others who moved against the grain, but your ability to open up to that at the same time that you are meticulously documenting the reality of your projections, the reality of your thoughts, how your thoughts construct a life that is really centered on who you are and what you need, how you express yourself authentically. The Knight of Pentacles in the 4th house is clarified by the 6 of air in the 5th house and the 3 of earth in the 6th house. You're definitely moving away. It feels like you've been moving away for a long time from situation or situations in which you were not recognized, you were not heard. There was very little chance for you to contribute to solving the problems or issues that the collective confronted. Your participation felt negligible to you, although you desperately wanted to participate in this work. Accepting that this was not a place that you belonged, wherever that was, whether it was home, whether that was at work, whether it was among your family members, you have accepted that this was not the environment, there was not the understanding or acceptance of you in this environment for you to productively contribute. And that's what's important to you. To serve is what you understand, to build something of value and use to others. You're looking for peace and acceptance, and that peace is coming as the result of you accepting that there is an environment that will support you. There are opportunities you can manifest, you can create that will lead to your success, your sense of reward and recognition that is appropriate and just to the effort you make. 3 of Earth is really supporting your desire to set yourself up to offer services to a less familiar community. This can be about travel, but this is at a deep level about collaboration. This is about joining with others who share your goals, that are aligned with your values, and that contain an expertise like you that they're willing to share. This is a kind of equal participation in finding solutions, building something of value, of excellence, of beauty, of use to others. This is so beautiful. And that's where all of your efforts go. So there is a lot here about working with others, despite the challenge of actually learning to honor and love who you are and what you contribute to any situation, to the world. The Emperor card in the 7th house is clarified by the Patience card, and the 8th house and the Strength card in the 9th house. So the Patience card is sometimes called Temperance in some decks, and it really is about this long, long journey, particularly coupled with the Strength card. You've been on this healing path to actually free yourself from the oppression of never quite fulfilling the expectations of others. You have had many experiences where others were disappointed in you, and you had deeply internalized that, believing that you somehow were flawed or not inadequate in some way. And so this journey to real self-respect, to honoring your potential by actually pursuing the things that you want, has been a long journey. In fact, I'm suspecting for many of you, you didn't even know what you wanted, apart from the things that everyone's supposed to want for a very long time. Just identifying your desires has been part of the struggle in your path. You've always been a strong one. You've always been one who can get stuff done. You've always been the person who is willing to roll up their sleeves and commit to the project and make sure the buck stops with you. You will take accountability and responsibility for seeing projects done. And this definitely takes you a minute because you have uh, so deeply internalized the messaging of others, of who you were, and you have had to work very slowly at fulfilling these, in many ways, invisible contracts with others that you did not explicitly participate in any way. So this is as much about social conditioning as it is about families. I just want to remind you of that so we're not all hating on our families. It's not about that. It's really about really doing the work to discover yourself. And in many cases, one just finds that there were those along the way who got you, who saw you evolve, emerge, and who did love you and support you for that. But because you have been so unstinting in the love that you wished you had, in giving the love that you wished was given back to you, that you have worked very tirelessly, very selflessly at committing to the collective over and over again without, after a while, even expecting any just compensation for your effort. The Three of Wands in the 10th house is clarified by the Ten of Water in the 11th house and the Moon card in the 12th house. The community that is your ideal sense, there's some sense here that you have an ideal community, that you have a group of people, association, a neighborhood, a household where resources are shared freely, where you give of yourself and that others give back in a way that really helps each other, particularly around difficult uh, challenges, particularly because it is a place of safety. And it's interesting that this isn't the home. It isn't just the home, let me say that, because clearly it has to be in part the home. You built this. And this can be the result of many of the lessons you've experienced in your life, that you have built a kind of home or community around your home that envelopes your greater humanitarian or idealistic vision of how the world can be, how people can work together. There's nothing perfect about it. It's simply that there is tremendous safety in being honest and processing all experiences, uh, experiences of oppression, of exploitation, of abuse, of trauma, as well as joy, happiness, partnership, community, love. They all have a place in this community that you live in. And it's interesting that this continues to empower this really deep work that you must do. It's dark work. And it is that work that is part of your long life healing process where you look consistently at the really difficult experiences you've had, the difficult treatment you've experienced, and you looked at your part in that and how you invited that exploitation over and over again, at which where you've given to those who were not deserving or capable of the reciprocity that you expected, and it, that ancestry piece is what has pulled you through. In other words, you are now appreciating that the conditions for your success were seeded long ago, quite possibly before your birth, through a connection with those that sacrificed for you and that celebrate you at, at in the invisible sphere through your dreams. I personally have talked often about how dreams can be a phenomenally productive place to connect with ancestors, to ask for their help, to ask for them to show themselves to you. Uh, and in many ways, it may not be experienced as a picture of a person, but that sense of assistance from other realms is absolutely palpable when you ask for it. It's about one of the biggest learning curves for Capricorns is asking for help. Because after all, you're capable of anything. You've done the most impossible things, and you're still doing them. So you are often perceived as not needing help, not deserving of help, when in fact you are learning to ask for what you need, no matter what others' perception is. This is incredibly, this contributes to the incredible resiliency that you are experiencing at this time. I'm going to finish up this reading, Capricorn, with a yogic path oracle, and I pulled Satya. I will look Satya up. Satya is truthfulness. You're moving toward your truth, peeling off all layers of inauthenticity that have been placed upon you by societal conditioning. Through this shedding, you're finally feeling truth's bare skin as you place your fingers upon your face, finally coming home to yourself. This truth has been dormant inside you all along, waiting until your awakening. Through this process of understanding, unlearning, and evolving, you've become an awakened person. Continue to step into this new paradigm of truth as you shed all false beliefs, narratives, and stories so you can emerge as your true self. Thank you so much, Capricorn, for this powerful reading. Until next time, namaste.